The greatest of all time debate is finally, officially, and decisively closed. In the sweltering, electric atmosphere of Kansas City, Lionel Messi, at 38 years and 357 days old, did not just defeat Algeria. He authored a masterclass that defied the natural aging process of an athlete. As Argentina began their defense of the FIFA World Cup title with a resounding 3-0 victory, Messi's hat trick, the first of his storied World Cup career, etched his name into the history books, tying Miroslav Klose's record of 16 all-time tournament goals and crowning him the oldest player to ever record a 3-goal performance in the competition. Watching Messi on the pitch, one could not help but notice how his game has evolved from the kinetic, high-speed dribbling of his teenage years into something far more cerebral and efficient. While younger stars or the legends of yesteryear relied on explosive, raw physical pace to bypass defenders, Messi's current state is defined by an absolute economy of movement. He is, quite literally, a player who calculates before he commits. His physicality at 38 remains a marvel of modern sports science. By ditching the heavy sugar and processed diets of his early career in favor of a clean regimen built on fish, lean proteins, olive oil, and nuts, he has preserved his mobility where others have seen theirs vanish. On the pitch, he is the most efficient man in the game. He walks to study defensive gaps, conservation of energy being his primary tactical tool. Yet, when the moment strikes as it did in the 17th, 60th, and 76th minutes, his flexibility and reaction time remain elite. He no longer needs to outrun an opponent. He outhinks the defensive structure entirely. To understand the gravity of Messi's achievement, we must look at those who have donned the mantle of the World Cup hat-trick hero. Historically, this feat is reserved for the titans of the game. Jefferst 1966, the standard for pressure. Pelé 1958, the archetype of youth. Gabriel Bethasies, the power-forward prototype. And Kylian Mbappé, the modern speedster. Unlike these legends who scored their hat tricks in the physical prime of their 20s, Messi's goals against Algeria were a clinic in precision rather than power. His first goal, a clinical finish from outside the box, showcased the same lethal left foot that has haunted goalkeepers for 20 years. His subsequent strikes demonstrated an almost telepathic ability to find pockets of space that simply shouldn't exist. Where other scorers relied on sheer volume of attacking, Messi achieved his 3 goals from just 4 touches inside the penalty box. The sheer difficulty of scoring a hat trick at age 38 cannot be overstated. At this stage of a professional career, most players are either retired or serving as tactical substitutes. Messi, however, is leading the press, tracking back to tackle, and dictating the tempo of a World Cup match for 80 minutes. The quality of his goals yesterday, characterized by anticipation, positioning, and that signature clinical finish, was not a reflection of an athlete fading, but of a master adjusting the game to his own pace. We are witnessing the final, luminous chapter of the most decorated career in football history. There is no longer a debate to be settled by statistics or trophies. We are simply in an era where we can count ourselves lucky to have seen him, as he continues to play the sport as if it were a game of chess. One where, even in the twilight of his age, he remains the only one who knows the final move. It is a legacy that transcends records. It is the absolute realization of footballing genius, leaving the world in awe of a man who simply refuses to let the clock run out on his own greatness. We watch, we cheer, and we witness a living legend solidify his throne forever.